Hello, everyone. Welcome to Season 3 of Adventures in Norvald. We're playing a homebrew Pathfinder 1E campaign set in the land of ice and snow. Let's introduce our resident heroes. We have Dave, who plays our human rogue Angelus, Ad, who plays our half-elf ranger Ulf, and Lee, who plays our half-elf cleric Giles. Let's begin. So last session, you guys had a run-in with some troglodytes in a swamp. You killed a whole bunch and then spared one. He took you to where his friends lived, left a little message to you from where a creature called a slogrig is currently digging a tunnel towards the city. And you found the barrels and you decide to head back to the tavern to drop them off to Marion and Heinrich. So we'll start back at the tavern. You guys entering the door, and you see Heinrich sitting at the table. The tavern's relatively busy. Food's being cooked at the table. The barman's bringing some drinks over, and Heinrich is there with a knife out, peeling an apple.
So I'll go over to Heinrich and say, fancy a bit of an adventure?
He looks up from the table. And he says, depends what the adventure is. And he picks up a crossbow that's at the side of him and places it on the table.
How do you handle yourself with slogrigs?
He says, Gesundheit. What? What's a slogrig? Sounds like you just threw something up on the table.
That's pretty much what they look like, I think.
He nods. And he says, well, we'll talk about that in a bit. I hear you've got some weapons for me.
Yes. I think they're outside, are they, in the wagon?
Yeah, you had 3 chests, which were enough for you to hold one each.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Heinrich says, yeah, we got Johan and his buddies dropped some off in what seemed like a makeshift sled. So we've got them, and Marion's headed to the city to move them, but there were some remaining. Have you got those for me?
Yes.
He nods. So did you guys leave them outside? Do you have them on your person?
I presume we left them outside on the wagon, did we?
I mean, I don't think we'd have brought them all in, would we? Where's my bloody skeleton? Is that outside guarding them?
Where do you want it, Lee?
Outside guarding the weapons.
Outside guarding the weapons. So Heinrich gets up from his table, and he points to his crossbow, and he says, watch old Bertha, will you? And then he heads out, and a couple of seconds later he comes back in, and he nods, and he says, we're missing a few vials of acid. I don't know what happened to them.
Hang on. Sorry, we've got a Dalek in the room.
Oh, not again. I just know it's me now every time you say that.
It sounds like Angelus swallowed them.
Bit of a bad throat, yeah.
Is your companion all right? Would he like a drink? And he signals to the tankard.
Yes, please.
He gets a cup, and he sort of looks inside like, is this filthy enough, or is this clean enough? And he kind of just shakes it out, puts in some beer, and throws it in front of you. He has a progressive set of tankards and ale mugs lining up.
I'll drink out of it anyway.
The beer's warm and hearty. So yeah, nice ale, nice quality ale.
Nice.
He says, so, about your slugrak issue?
Slogrig?
What's going on there?
I think, does he have some more of your weapons? I think he does, I can't remember what he had.
He cocks his head, and he says, no, we've got all the weapons, unless, you're talking about the couple of acid flasks. But to be fair, they're not pricey. We mostly wanted swords, axes, arrows, things to fuel the war effort. We hear that the that the southern raiders are closing in, so we may need those weapons sooner than we may think.
I think I've suddenly remembered why we needed to kill the slog rigs. I think they were tunneling underneath the town.
Oh, he looks quite shocked.
I think that's...
Tunneling underneath the town?
Have I just made that up?
No. But your memory
No,
is
you've got it
much
right,
better.
Yeah.
Heinrich says, well, where? Where are they tunneling?
Not far from where we collected the weapons.
You had a little crude, rudimentary map drawn for you by Trog. And Heinrich takes out a roll from his pocket, and he says, "Would you be able to point on this map where you think they're digging under the wall?"
So can I just get out that little picture that he gave us?
Yeah. Did you make a note of it? You can just say if you don't remember, you can say that you did.
Yes.
Sounds like something you guys are drawing in. Notebook or something. You guys have charcoal and stuff, don't you, to scribble a note?
I thought, didn't he leave a bit of paper on the floor? Did we pick that up?
No, we drew it in the ground.
Didn't he also draw a treasure map in the ground?
Yeah, that was the way to the Slogrick and the treasure and the everything going on. I tell you what, Ed, I'll get a knowledge geography from you to successfully locate the place. It's plus 10 for you. Pretty good score.
26.
Nice. So you're really confident where it is. So he gives you a quill and dips it in a small vial of ink in his pocket, and he says, "Mark it for me, will you?"
I'll mark it on there.
Cool. He says, "Wow, in the swamp they must have a cave or a network of caves or something. But I've not heard of this Slogrick creature. It sounds... I mean, if it can tunnel under the rock bed from the swamp to the city, it must be pretty nasty. I wouldn't go unprepared."
Indeed, this is why we were trying to enlist your help.
He nods. He says, "Well, old Bertha's not a bad weapon, but she may not be able to take down whatever's down there. My suggestion is you guys go into the city and gear yourself up." And he sort of looks at your armor and weapons and things, and he says, "You're not equipped very well, are you? Let's be honest."
Got skeleton that can use some armor. Dalek.
Drex. Dalek.
Yeah, my skeleton could use some armor, so I'm well up for.
I need another one of your beers.
He needs a sword, I think, as well.
Oh, do you remember what you said to me on a night out, Lee?
No.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Fair
enough. You had an interesting idea. You might want to remember it.
Let me just
It's
drink
Barry
some.
watching. He'll probably remind you. Yeah. So yeah, he says, "Yeah, Marion told me to give you some extra information. Should you bring these weapons back as a bit of a gift to you guys, in payment. I told you to visit the blacksmith living in the Lord's Hall. He's Pient's very own armourer."
Johan?
Johan.
Johan? Is he Johan as well? Did I do two Johans?
I've got blacksmith Johans or something. I can't quite read my own writing, to be honest.
There could be another Johan. Yeah, let's say he's Johan the blacksmith.
We just like Johan.
So yeah, you need to visit Johan the blacksmith. Marianne said, visit his wife and play along.
Okay. Any more information on that one?
He shakes his head.
I'll go with that.
Visit his wife and play along.
Yeah.
Sounds like a trap.
Sounds like one for Angelus.
He said Marianne's generally got good advice, so I'd take a word for it.
Okay.
So on that note, shall we go and look at the armory or in the city, and also go visit Marianne?
No, Johan's wife.
Johan's wife.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
As you guys begin to leave, Heinrich just quickly takes out a pen and paper and scribbles something down, and he says, "Give this to the city guard on the gates, because they're not letting people through at the moment. They'll let you through with this."
Excellent.
And he hands you a note.
What does the
I'll
note
take
say?
that note.
Do you look at the note?
Yeah, I'll give it a quick look.
It just said, "Allow the bearer of this note to pass the city walls, signed Heinrich." And he's drawn like a weird symbol on there and a signature.
That weird symbol's not anything we've seen before, is it?
Give me a... Don't have a knowledge local check. I'll just take a straight up intelligence check from you, +2 add.
Okay. 20.
You're from the area, you recognise it as like the symbol for the local guard in this area,
Okay.
which is kind of like a variation of the Pient family crest,
Yeah.
which is basically some sort of animal and a weapon. So it's, let's just say it's a puffin and a club.
Nice.
I'll make a note of that.
Puffin in a club.
Yeah, but in its like basic symbol form.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys begin to head to the city. As you guys start to head there, can I get a perception from you all?
26. Oh.
25 from Lee, 26 from Ad. What did you get, Dave?
Not very good perception. I got 11.
Okay, great. Ad and Lee, you two notice that there's something a bit strange about Angelus. You kind of see like his hair's all like blowy. There's a little bit of a wind around him. Angelus, you hear a buzzing in your ear, like a really loud buzzing.
What?
And I've got an idea.
Okay.
I have to tell you this now before I forget again. When I went out the other week and I spoke to Paris, I may have drank some rum. And during drinking my rum, I thought, wouldn't it be a great idea to give your sword to my skeleton?
No way.
He said this like it was some sort of great epiphany when he was drunk, and he was really pleased. It's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea to see what it does.
From a distance, of course.
Yeah.
Just wait for it to turn over and just mow us all down.
We're just going to end up killing another town, aren't we?
Oh dear.
Anyway.
Anyway, so I've got a bit of buzzing in my ears.
Yeah.
Is that from the beer?
You're not sure. It's like a loud, almost like a plugged-in speaker kind of buzzing that you're experiencing. It's not something that Angelus has heard before, but you guys notice that there's just something weird about Angelus's aura, like something just completely off.
Can I detect evil? Well, no, not can I. I can detect evil, so let me
Yeah,
do that.
use your level 0 cantrip spell. Yes, do detect evil.
I was trying to remember how I do that. Bleed, detect magic, detect poison. Where is it?
I believe it is detect. Is it detect alignment on your 0 level spell? Detect undead, detect lord, detect good, detect evil. It's at the bottom of the first page. It's actually it's a level 1 spell actually. Detect evil. Oh no!
That would do.
Okay, cone shape. You can sense the presence of evil, and the range is 60 foot. So as you reach out your hand and see if you can detect some evil, you could detect the tiniest bit of evil, but not that much on him.
Okay, that's just Dave.
normal.
Could be, yeah.
That's the level 1s, but what's the detect magic? That's the level 0. So let's do detect magic.
Cool. As you change to detect magic, you definitely start to feel some magic coming from Dave. Actually, there's quite a lot of magic coming from Dave. How long do you do this for?
As soon as I detect it, I try to understand what it is, but if I feel anything a bit odd, I'm just going to stop.
Okay. So in the first round, in the first 6 seconds, you detect a series of magical auras around Dave. Some are more potent, some are not. Do you continue detecting magic?
Yes.
So you feel that there's actually quite a lot of magic around Dave. He's got something in his backpack that's very magical. You see the bag on his hip. That's quite magical. What else does Dave have on him that's magical?
I'm wondering what I've got now.
I think that's it, but generally they're the sort of really strong ones. But then you also detect a possible faint one. Can you give me you don't have knowledge arcana, do you, Lee? Can I just get a flat out intelligence check from you?
You can when I find my intelligence. Don't laugh.
Sorry.
Okay, where's that on my sheet? Oh, intelligence. Base score 7.
It's not the base score I'm after. It's the minus. It's the -2 I'm after.
That's fine. You see, hey, he already knows what it is. ISB trying to find it's the -2 I'm after there. Anyway, that's 17 because I rolled 19.
17, cool. You detect what you know as a message spell. So someone's trying to contact Dave with a faint aura. That's why he seems so weird. And as you're detecting this, Dave, you start to hear a small voice come into focus. And it goes, "Hello."
Hi.
I would hurry into the city walls if I was you.
Okay, why?
You'll be hearing it about now. But all of a sudden you hear the bells go in the outskirts of the village. And you hear like screaming and men shouting. And in the distance you see a fire start.
Ooh.
I shout, let's run to the city because we are not armed.
What, sorry?
We're not armed. We haven't got very good armor, have we?
True. I'm going to say, I tell you what I've just heard in my head. I say, we got to go.
Good point. I never heard that.
Can I just ask Angelus if the voice sounded familiar?
I don't know. Does it sound familiar to me?
Yes. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh, no.
For your just general memory.
Okay, intelligence.
Actually, no. Give me a charisma check. I'll have a social skill off you. Can I have? Let's have a look. What do you have?
I'm trying to use charisma.
I'll just have a straight off charisma from you, Dave. So D20 +1.
Cool. 15.
15. Cool. Yep, you remember the voice. You remember the person. You remember it as the creepy guy at Dave's dad's house. At Ulf's dad's house.
Ah. Okay. I'll say that creepy dude who was poisoning the dogs speaking to me in my mind.
I'm not that creepy.
Not that creepy.
Oh, he's still listening. He's listening.
It's in my head.
Tell Ulf that his dad's safe. For now.
For now.
Okay, Ulf, your dad's safe for now.
Oh. Ask him if he's responsible for what's happening.
Are you responsible for what's happening?
I serve one of the people who has influence over these events. And possibly you may want to as well.
Why is this
If you can
going
get
on?
outside the city walls in 5 days, meet me at Ulf's family home and we'll talk further.
If we can get out of the city walls.
Okay, it's a siege. Ooh. I say this to everyone else as well, by the way. I say this to you all.
Okay.
But basically, we got like a 5-day limit. We got to try and get out the building.
So ask him where my father is.
Asking what, sorry?
Where my father is. Where is he? He said he's safe for now. Would like for now, but where?
Voice in my head. Where is where is Ulf's dad?
The family home.
Oh, is it the family?
He's currently enjoying a cup of tea, blissfully unaware of the carnage around him. In fact, he's sheltering some soldiers that he currently believes are nephews of his.
Oh God, not again.
He's quite safe, but if you want him to stay safe, you'll come out and you'll bargain with me in 5 days' time. And if you really want to keep me happy, bring me Vigo's head, will you?
Oh.
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 Oh. This guy's a dick. I hate him.
Still listening to you, no doubt.
He knows I like cutting heads off, but I mean, damn. Vigos.
Vigo's been there all the way through, season 1?
Yeah. He has.
Please tell me we're all running to the city right now.
The buzzing stops, and you guys can do whatever you want, but the sound of the bells is getting louder as someone's frantically ringing it. People, if you're not already running, are running by you and scrambling, and you see Heinrich and a small wagon of weapons, and they've leashed a pony to it, and he's saying, "Get to the city! Get to the city now!"
I guess we better get to the city then.
Yep. Let's do it.
So you guys run down the path, and there's some countryside road left available to you between the outskirts and the city, and you begin to see the moat, the hill, and the large stone wall and the gatehouse coming up. You manage to get right through the great gatehouse just before they start lowering the portcullis and raising the drawbridge, and behind you, you guys see a series of goblins, humans with spears, and people with tricorner hats, all cutting people down. And can I get a perception off you all?
24.
Tricorner hats.
Yep, tricorner hats.
I get a feeling my nemesis is coming back.
19.
I do with that perception as well. I'm about to know this.
19. What did you get, Dave?
27.
27. Dave, you spot it before everyone else. But in the sea of soldiers, both axemen in mail and people with tricorner hats and spears and bows, you notice Captain Wayne Pike issuing orders to the goblins.
Son of a bitch.
He looks straight at you, meeting your gaze, and he gives you a slow wink as he drives his cutlass into the head of a villager passing by him.
Oh, I'm going to cut his head off. Oh, I'm going to murder that guy. Captain William Pike, we meet again.
You see the line of men and monsters stop as they approach near arrow reach of the city walls, and they begin to slurk back into the city outskirts, occupying the settlement. You see the flames rise higher and higher, and no one else is coming from the outskirts. Everyone has either fled or has been captured or dead. The drawbridge raises, and you can't see anything beyond it. You find yourself inside the city walls. A large gatehouse sits behind you, two lizards going up on either side, and you see a handful of nervous soldiers at the top, twitching their bows, looking at each other as if, what do we do? Heinrich immediately climbs one of the ladders, and you hear him issuing orders to get their bows ready, to man the walls, and to get behind the crenellations in case anyone attacks. And he turns to you guys, and he says, "A siege is a long affair. We're not going to be doing anything now. My suggestion is you guys arm up and consider what you're going to do next. I would look at seeing Vigo later."
Can we go find Johan? Johan's the blacksmith, isn't he, in the city?
Yeah, let's do that.
Lee,
Yes.
do you have any spells that can detect if anyone's listening in on us that shouldn't be?
Don't believe so. The only thing I can do is probably detect magic, which we did earlier on. But that detects any magic. It's not going to tell us what type of magic it is.
No. I just wondered in case he was eavesdropping.
It can go if you can identify certain spells, Lee, but it takes you have to do a knowledge check. But your detect magic is like a gateway for that, so you might not always know. But
Okay.
it's a reasonable indicator of if magic's being done, and what magic items you have, of course.
So, what do you think of a rescue mission?
Who we're rescuing?
My old man. Break him out before the 5 days are up.
Ooh.
Because I don't feel like cutting Vigo's head off. Is it Vigo?
No, but do you know what I do
Yeah,
That's
fancy
Vigo.
doing? Do you know what I do fancy doing, guys? I've got an idea.
Oh no, these never go well.
It does involve cutting heads off.
I mean, I feel like there's a whole like area that I should have for when you say I've got an idea and it just slips up. It would be brilliant, but I haven't got the hours to go through and find it out every time you've said that. I'm going to start just popping a mark on, I think. What's your idea?
The pain behind your voice then. My idea is, if we're going to do this rescue mission, which I think is a good idea, I think we need to save your old man. I think, because the creepy dude's expecting expecting a head. I kind of want that head to be Captain Wayne Pike.
Won't creepy dude know it's not him, though?
Maybe. But maybe.
I'm just thinking, if we get my old man out of there, then he's like sort of bargaining chip is gone, isn't it?
True. I'm just thinking if we can do that, we kill my arch nemesis, and we've got a bargaining chip to get closer to that guy to kill him.
Well, we can kill him anyway, yeah. Captain Wayne Pike.
Good.
Get rid.
We need to get rid of that guy. He's yeah. That's my idea. I mean, I don't know.
I'm always up for one of your good ideas and jealous. However, I do feel the need to go see Johan and say that we were sent by the guy we gave ears to. That is the note I have here. Johan
Yep.
Blacksmith in the city. Say we were sent by a guy we gave ears to. So I hope he's going to help us out. We get armoured up. I arm up my skeleton. We could lend it Ubik's sword and send it into somewhere. Ubik looks really scared on the thought of that. Who's his skeleton?
Shall we go and find this Johan then?
I think that's let's go find Johan. Let's go spend some money or some gold.
No.
So you guys are in the entrance of the city, and to the left of you there is a large house. To the right of you there's a stables and what looks like a small sort of farmhouse. and ahead of you, you just start to see the formation of some streets, a lot of wooden houses, a couple made of cobblestone. And in the distance, you guys see a really big building on a mound that's surrounded by a big wooden wall, which you assume might be the keep or the hall. And then on the left, you guys see the sea and a big, large wooden port stretched out in front of you.
Oh, okay, so the other side of this town's on like a harbour then, is it?
Yeah. So Piano's right next to the sea.
Yeah.
Where do you guys want to go? Or do you want to... There's plenty of people around you to ask questions to. Huddled up and around.
Yeah, I'll ask somebody if they know where the blacksmith is.
Yeah, cool. You grab a woman who's next to you, and she sort of stares at you wide-eyed. She says, what do you want?
Just some local information, please. I'd just like to know where the blacksmith is, Johan.
She says, my family were in Piant. I don't know if they've all gotten out. Have you seen my husband?
What does he look like?
He's a big man, tall man. He works in the mill. Brown hair.
John. John?
She nods. Yeah.
Okay. Have I seen John on the way out?
Yes, he was with Heinrich in his wagon.
Okay. Yes, he's with Heinrich.
She
With a big
immediately
wagon.
hugs you and says, "Thank you so much. You're Ulf, aren't you? You're the boy who left."
I am, yes. Although I didn't know I was the boy who left.
She nods. She goes, "What was it? 8 years ago? 9 years ago? You set off?"
Yeah, about 8 years ago.
She nods. She said, "We were children back then. I remember seeing you go. God, you hardly look any different."
Probably the elven blood.
She nods, and she said, "Sorry, I've lost track. What did you want again?"
The blacksmiths.
She nods. She said, "There's the local blacksmith who works by the port. He makes nails and things like that. Is there a particular blacksmith you're after?"
Somebody who makes armour, something a bit more substantial.
Johan?
Johan.
She nods. She says, I know Johan. Yes, he's the blacksmith. He works directly for... the lord of this town died at Thrin, but his wife's taken over. The lady Helga Liv's daughter, has taken over. He'll be at Helga's keep, and she points at the large fort.
So Helga runs the town.
She nods.
His wife.
She nods.
Ah, okay. Now that makes more sense.
Many of the Hersirs and chieftains died at Thrin. The Hersir of this village, he died, and he's left his pregnant wife, and she's taken over. Vigo and the others have arrived, and we've slowly got chieftains gathering in. But from what I hear, most of them died at Thrin. So the north is a bit chaotic, and clearly the southern raiders have taken advantage of this.
Indeed. This is why we need the blacksmith.
She nods, and she says, "Go to Helga's keep, and he'll be there. Just ask the guard at the gate; they'll let you in."
Okay. I presume you pair heard that, did you?
Yeah, I'll start walking towards the gate.
Yeah, cool. So the keep's not difficult to miss. It's a massive hall on essentially a dugout ditch. It's a bit like a Mott and Bailey type castle, made of wood primarily and cobblestone. Easy to see. There's a path going directly up to it. And you guys reach the gate. A guard sees you guys approaching and sticks his spear out in front of him, and he says, "Who goes there?"
We've been sent by Heinrich.
He nods. I know of Heinrich.
I'll pass him. I'll pass him that note.
He unrolls it, and he goes, "Pass, friend," and he puts his spear up and steps out the way and opens the small door.
I'll give him a little.
He salutes back heartily, like really into it.
Doing a good job. Doing a good job.
And you enter the courtyard of the keep, and you see hammering away a man by a furnace, and he's pumping the bellows and hammering away at what looks like a large hook, while some soldiers train on the other side of the courtyard.
Can I try and get his attention and go, Johan?
He puts his work down and he stares at you. And he says, "I know not of why any cleric should know my name. It's been a long time since I visited the temple."
And I
I just go, don't mind him, Johan. We're friends of Heinrich.
we're also sent by some guy we gave a couple of years to. Can't remember his name.
That is Heinrich.
Heinrich.
Oh, that's Heinrich.
Years, you say? Well, I better hear you out. And he takes the hook and he plunges it into the oil. And he looks at it and he says, "About done anyway." And he puts it on the side. "What can I do for you, gentlemen?"
Well, we hear you're the best armourer in this region.
He nods. He says, "Aye, that be true."
And if you look at our clothing, our apparel, we're in need of some of your skills.
He nods. He says, "My son's wooden sword could cut through some of that."
Indeed.
Can I go and I have this and point to my skeleton. He could do some armor and a sword. If you could tell us how much.
He looks and he says, "There's something not right about that man." He takes
not
a
the way
sniff
it's not.
and he's going to do a perception check.
Can I just say, it's not the way someone looks that counts. It's what's inside.
I'll try and swat some of the flies that are landing on it. What's it?
He looks at the. Do you display your symbol openly, Dave? Lee, your symbol of Nex.
Yes.
He looks at your symbol of Nex and he looks and he says, "By the gods, that man's dead. You've animated him, haven't you? You've put the weird life in him."
He's going to save many lives.
He gives you a bit of a disgusted look and he says, "I'll sell you my weapons, but I can't say I approve of this." And he points at the skeleton man. "I don't know what poor soul you've stolen away, but I don't truck with the undead."
I just turn around and say, "No, Dwyer's already a skeleton when I got him."
He's like this when I found him.
Can I get a diplomacy off you, Lee? Oh, +1 for you.
10.
He sort of gives you a disgusted look, but he clearly is going to trade with you anyway. And he says, "So, what can I do you for? Is there anything you're looking for in particular? Weapons, armor?"
For me, I'd like some armor and for my skeleton, I'd like some armor and a sword.
He says armor will be good, but you don't seem like the type who would wear armor, to be honest. Aren't you clerics? Don't you struggle casting your little spells if you have armor on?
It's news to me. Where's that on the character sheet?
You got to stay in your bathrobe.
Are you telling me I can't wear armor?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the spell. Clerics wearing. I know wizards can't, but let's have a quick look.
Here's me thinking, finally. Find something to keep me alive.
Don't you get to cast
okay.
something like magic armor or something instead?
No, so arcane. It's arcane spell failure, not divine spell failure. You can wear armor, Lee. You can wear armor just fine. He's wrong. He says, I must be thinking of a wizard friend of mine.
I just smile.
Of course I could get you some armor. Let's have a look what I've got. He takes out some various sheets of leather armor and some pieces of chain as well. He says, I have some fine chain armor for you.
How heavy is that?
He says it's 40 pounds in weight.
Okay, checking. Can I hold an extra 40 pounds? I can't find my weight. I thought I'd have that written down.
Total weight carried is 18 pounds.
Well,
lightweight is up to 26. Medium weight is up to 53. So you would be lightly encumbered if you wear this sort of armor.
I think I'll go with the leather armor. I'm guessing leather is going to be much lighter than chains. One would hope.
He says I've got some leather armor that's 15 pounds in weight. He says I do have some padded armor. I can't say it's very thick, but it only weighs 10 pounds.
If I took the leather armor, I'd be okay with that, wouldn't I?
So the leather armor is +2, and it adds 15 pounds of weight on you. The padded armor is 10 pounds, and it only adds a +1 armor onto you. So you get double weight if you go with the leather. Yeah, he says that's 10 gold for the leather armor for you, sir.
Okay. I hand over 10 gold.
Okay, cool. And
What about
he asks you to stand up to him, and he takes a selection of the leather armor and holds it up, and he says that's a little big, but he readjusts some straps on it and places it over you, and he says that's about right. I'll have 10 gold off you, please. I'll readjust your character sheets, guys, for the new armor you're getting.
Right.
So what about my lovely friend over here? Also, is there anything that can stop any smells?
Any smells?
Yeah.
Is he a particularly smelly individual?
He's rotting away.
Ah, of course. And he nods at the skeleton, and he says, "May I suggest something in chain? I have a chain coat, and it will give you a +4 shield bonus. But he just explains how strong it is. It weighs 40 pounds, but your friend looks certainly plenty strong.
Yeah, let's hook him up. As it
Or,
were.
or for 150 gold, he could wear a full suit of chainmail, which is going to be the same weight, but it'll offer him a much better defense, +6 armor.
That and a sword. What would the cost be?
Oh, what sort of sword would you like? I've got all sorts of different weapons. A large two-handed sword, a short one-handed sword, an axe. Everyone likes an axe around here.
Oh, yes, they do.
What one have you got that can cause the most damage?
Oh, I would recommend a large double-handed axe.
A large double-handed axe I will take.
He says, a large double-handed axe will set you back. Looking for the great axe. There we go. 20 gold for a great axe.
That's fine. So 150 for the armor plus 20 for the axe.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Pass that over.
And he just takes a standard great axe hanging up, and he sort of throws it at you. And it's noticeably heavy. But he says, someone gets hit by this, they'll definitely know it. Anything else for you, sirs?
I'll take the leather armor. That's all right.
He looks at the armor that you have, and he says, so I'm just looking what you're already wearing, Ed.
My armor bonus is 0 at the moment.
Oh yeah, you're not wearing any armor, are you?
No.
He says, I do have leather armor, or if you prefer chain. Chain offers a much better protection for the discerning customer.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that put my weight up, won't it? So
Put it by £40.
Yes, I'm carrying 30 at the minute.
You could always put something in the magic purse.
He says, I have something a little lighter. I have a chain shirt as opposed to a chain coat. It's a bit smaller, more compact, but it's made of higher quality materials. It's 100 gold, and it'll give you a +4 armor class bonus.
Oh, I'll take that then.
So
nice.
So it's £25. Costs 100 gold. And you get a +4 AC bonus for the chain shirt. Yes.
I was going to say, do you have any specialty arrows?
He cocks his head and he says, I might have one or two. I don't deal in a lot of magic, but the wife does. Let's have a look at what arrows we have.
Can I just check with you, Paris? Have you updated the map at all? Because my map's not changed at all.
It hasn't. I haven't updated the map.
That's
but I tell you what, I'll give you the old general store scene. Because you are currently, whilst you're in a courtyard with a blacksmith, you are shopping at the moment. So get the right thematic map. He says, I have some fire arrows or incendiary arrows. 10 gold for 20.
I'll take 20 of those, yeah.
Yeah. He gives you a stack and he says, that's 10 gold, please.
Yeah, so I'll pay him the 10 gold and the 100 as well for the other.
Cool. Excellent. What about any of you other gentlemen? What about you, sir? And he approaches Angelus.
I say, what would you recommend?
You look like the type of person who needs some movement. A spring in his step.
Sounds good. What you got?
He looks at what armor that you have already and he gives you a bit of an appraisal. And he says, so at the moment you have some padded armor, nice, light, simple. I could probably do you a bit better than that. How about... And he sort of looks through. I'm just having a look for something that's...
Yeah, no worries.
He says, I have some good hide armor.
Okay.
20 gold. Gives you a bit of a bonus, but I would also probably recommend the chain shirt as well that I sold your friend. For 100 gold. Get a +4 AC. Only weighs 25 pounds.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll take both.
Yeah. What, both the hide armor and the chain shirt? You can only wear one, I'm afraid. He smiles.
So, okay. So which one's better again? Sorry. Which one gives me...
He said, well, the chain shirt's pretty good.
Okay.
He says, however, while you are wearing it, if you're trying to do something athletic, it will slow you down slightly. The other option is possibly leather armor, where you don't get any sort of penalty, and you can use your dexterity to its fullest at all times. You only get a +2 bonus on that, though, for armor.
Okay. I get +2 on that one, but the hide armor I get a plus...
So with the chain shirt, or the hide shirt. So the hide shirt you get a +3 on for your armor class, but if you're doing a skill check that involves your dexterity or strength or any physical skill, you take a -1 to that.
Oh, okay.
With the chain shirt you take a -2, but you get a +4 for your armor class. With the leather you don't take any sort of penalty, and you get +2 on your armor class bonus, Dave.
I'll go with that one then, please.
Okay, so you get an extra point for your armor. So you get a +2 for the leather armor, and it's only 10 gold.
Sounds great to me. Well,
Yeah. Cool. You guys are quickly outfitted up, and your stuff looks fancy. And he says, "You've got some nice new armor, but I tell you what, some of your weapons are a bit lacking."
Oh, tell me about it. What you got?
Well, I do have some of the stock stuff that I sold your friend here, and he sort of points to the skeleton. He says, I have a couple of weapons that are probably better quality. And he points to the bows on your back, and he says, that is a bow of quality, a masterwork weapon, forged by a master of their kind. I myself work a lot on my weapons. I could probably give you some daggers, some axes, some swords that are a similar quality.
Yeah, I'm all for that. Absolutely.
I pipe up slightly and go, I show my little sickle. Got anything better than this, but about the same kind of weight?
He looks at your sickle and he reaches his hand out to take it.
Just give it to him.
This is a silver elven sickle. It is of a master clearly did forge this. It's certainly a good sickle. As good as probably any of the things that I could forge, unless it had the hint of magic around it, and he passed it back to you.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I was hoping to give me something a little bit more stabby.
You're not a stabby class, Lee.
Mm.
I know.
You're a magic-y class.
Sometimes you need that little bit of
I'll
backdrop.
show him Wraith. I'll start to slightly unsheath it and be like, have you ever seen any swords like this?
As you unsheath it, the screaming starts like that. Ah! And he immediately just nips the weapon together to sheath it. And he looks at it and takes a breath. And he said, there's something wrong with this great sword. I mean, apart from the screaming. And he gives it a look. And he gasps and he says, there's a wizard in town who might be interested in this sort of equipment.
What's his name?
He lives in the tower, and his name is Zippity-doo.
Zippity-doo.
Think of a name.
Is that
Here's
a
the
point?
day.
Zippity day.
I mean, I write this down.
It's not zippity doo.
No? Okay.
It's Gunter.
Gunter. I preferred zippity doo.
So did I. I was
Gunter.
okay. Zippity. Cool.
He says
Wizard.
Gunter's a mage who'll be able to tell you a little bit more about this weapon, but it's out of my domain. The only thing I can say about it is, even as I hold it, it feels thirsty for blood. It's
Excellent.
a weapon that I wouldn't trust.
I'd like to go and see Gunther after we've dealt with Helga. Helga, was it Helga?
Helga's the lady of the town.
Yeah.
He says that weapon, I don't have anything that would compare to it. At least not in a collection that I would sell the public. And he says, anything else?
So you're
Axes,
saying you've got a
maces.
collection somewhere?
He gives you a sort of an appraising look, and he says, every man has a sword or two he keeps back from the general public. A family heirloom, something special.
Fair enough.
I'll take the upgrades of all the things you said.
Okay, cool. What do you want? You want new axes, Dave?
Yeah, I'll keep my silver one. I'll have all new. I'll keep the silver axe.
Okay. He has 2 masterwork throwing axes on hand, Dave, and they are 300 and. So I'm just trying to find it. It is in the martial weapon throwing. 308 gold for each one.
Each one?
Yeah.
How much is
Plus
a platinum
one to
mode?
attack.
Again, is platinum 10 gold?
Platinum's 10 gold, yeah.
So I can give him 30 platinum and 8 gold.
Yep, and he'll give you one. One axe, one throwing axe.
Does the more damage with these axes, or is it the same?
They get a +1 attack bonus, Dave. So basically, they're more accurate to hit. You don't get anything on damage extra.
I say I appreciate it, but I'm gonna leave that one. I think.
Okay.
Cool. So
I'll give Angelus a nudge and go, do you want in on these fire arrows?
yeah, yeah. I'll have some fire arrows instead.
Okay, cool. They are 20 GP for 10.
20
Don't say-
gold for Tanya.
Did I say 10 gold for 20?
25 for 20 you charged me.
Sorry, 25 for 20. Yeah, sorry, I wrote that down wrong. 25 gold for 20.
Sure thing.
I thought it was just like online prices where it just changes all the time.
The economy's up and down.
It's because you're a separate user account. You live in a different home. You look at different things online. So, like Amazon, I'm going to charge you more.
So 25 fire arrows. Sound.
20 arrows. 20 fire arrows for 25 gold.
Oh, 20 fire
Yeah.
arrows for 25 gold. Right?
Do you know anyone that can make explosives?
I like your thinking, Lee.
He says, I'm a humble blacksmith. If you want somebody who can do something strange, I would first ask the mage. Though my wife has done a bit of magic and a bit of alchemy in the past, but she doesn't often see people.
Absolutely. We can ask Gunther, can we then, at the same time?
Stocking up for war.
Yeah. Have you got any poisoned arrows?
He shakes his head.
Damn.
He said you'd need to see a specialist for that.
Oh, okay. Have you got any maiming arrows?
Maiming arrows?
As in, like anything that will just incapacitate people?
He says, I could probably look around and see what I could get you, but it might take a day.
Are we going to be around for a day, guys?
Well, we've got 5 days until we have to meet with what's his face.
I think we could take a day. We probably don't take any more.
Yeah. I'll go on then. I want some arrows that if I hit somebody with them, when they pull it out, it's going to hurt and it's going to probably kill them. Like bleeding arrows.
He says, most arrows are difficult to pull out, but I think I could create something that would be particularly damaging, but it might need to be magicked a bit. Might cost you a fair amount for an arrow. Might cost you a similar amount for the axe for one of them.
Ooh. For one of them. Ooh. I'm going to buy this. I'm going to miss, aren't I, when I fire it?
You can buy a few. It's not like you guys are loaded.
Yeah, I know. We haven't been this rich in a long time. I'd like to keep it that way. No dying, Lee.
I'll try. I'm going to try not to die.
These arrows are way cheaper than raised dead spells. I promise you.
Okay. I'm just trying to think. Ulf, do you still have your whistling arrows?
I still have 6 of those.
Cool. Right. Cool.
Yeah, he recognises you guys talking about whistling arrows, and he says, "I could make whistling arrows. Not a problem. I could make them in my sleep."
Okay.
He says, "I don't have them now, but I can make them."
I'm just thinking about getting a bit of an inventory up and running, like we could do with some distracting things. I'm just thinking about the heights for your father, Ulf.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Also, do you know anyone who would buy trinkets and things? Stuff we want to offload?
He says, what do you mean by trinkets?
Like silver clamshell or gold necklaces, things like that.
He says, "You didn't rob my grandmother, did you?" And he chuckles. He said, "Well, depending, I could pick a few things up. You know, the lady of the keep always likes a bit of jewellery. I could probably hock some to her." For saying that, no one hocks Helga Liv's daughter or anything, but I could probably acquire some and trade with a jeweller. Or you might want to see the Mercain who's come to port.
Do you know anyone that would be interested in a snake's egg?
Have you still got them?
I've still got a snake.
He looks at you and he says, "I would definitely go to the Mercain in the port for that."
Okay.
Perfect.
He says you can't miss him. He's a giant blue creature who sailed in on a massive sailboat.
Okay. Excellent.
So,
cool.
We need to spend a day, don't we? Here. So we could go see Mercain.
Should we go and see Helga first and see what while we're here?
Can I just quickly ask this guy? So, how much would 10 whistling arrows cost me?
2 gold
Each.
No, 2 gold for 2 gold for 20.
Oh, sound. Yeah, I'll have that.
Bargain.
So Gunter.
But he doesn't have them now. He'll have them tomorrow.
Yep, no worries.
Zippy to do. We need to go see him as well.
Who?
Zippy
Doodah.
Who would you like to go see first?
I suppose we'd better say hello to Helga.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the door to the keep or the main hall is up ahead. There's a guard on the door. What do you guys do?
just say we've been told that we should come and say hello to Helga.
He looks at you and he says, "You don't just come say hello to the ruler of the city. Who do you think you are?"
I'll show him the note again from Heinrich.
He says you'll need someone a bit more senior to hire than Heinrich to just come and say hello to Helga. I mean, we've got Vigo and we've got, Sved behind these walls. We've got some pretty serious chieftains.
Just turn around and go, you go ask either of those two who we are.
Well, who are you?
We are the trashy trio.
Trashy trio.
we have saved people behind these walls more times than you've had hot dinners.
He nods and he says, but no names, no entry, gentlemen. And I'd need to have you checked out beforehand.
I am Ulf. No, I'm not.
Yeah,
There we go. And I am Giles.
Why did the Ulf come to my mind? So yes, Giles the cleric here. You may not want to annoy me.
He nods and he says, I'm not normally the man to annoy. I'm normally the type of person is if we get any ragamuffin down here, we put him in that, and he points to a pair of stocks, and you can see that the stocks have clearly been very well worn. And he says, and when they're in the stocks, this is what I do. And he takes a rod from his side and he cracks it. And he says, so any more guff from you, gentlemen? And you may find yourself in the stocks. Just to let you know that. And he pops it away.
I just look at it and say, please can you go get Vigo?
He whistles to another guard who's trading in the courtyard. And he says, Giles, is it?
Yes, Giles.
Well, ask Vigo about Giles. And if they're wasting his time, come back and put him in the stocks, will you? And the soldier enters. And he just sits there and he grins at you. How long do you wait?
Just wait. If he doesn't come back, I'm going to inflict some moderate wounds on him.
Oh, God, no. Not in the middle of the town.
Kill the guard.
Not 5 minutes later, the guard comes out and he says, Vigo wasn't available, but I spoke with his right-hand man, Darius. He said Vigo's not available today, but he will be available tomorrow morning to see you.
Okay. I'll walk back towards the blacksmith and go, Johan, where's your wife?
He looks up and he says, why do you want to see her?
Our friend Marion said we should go and see her.
He nods. He says, I know Heinrich. I know Marion, both of them very well. He says, well, you'll find my wife in the city. She's got a little place by the tavern, the Salty Maid.
Salty Maid. Nice.
Her place has the crystal ball on the front. She's a seer.
One of them.
He nods. He says, don't worry, she doesn't tell of all doom and gloom. And he grins. And he says, well, maybe she should have when I married her. And he laughs. And he says, shit, she'll see I said that. And then he holds his hand in his head. And then he gets back to hammering.
Okay. Right. So where should we go first in chaps?
We could go see her, because that may be helpful. It may
So we've
give
got
some
her,
insight.
Meccan, the port, or Gunter.
We should go see her, because she may give us some insight into some other things to ask the other people that we're going to see. So I think we should go see her first.
Sounds
good.
Yeah, let's walk back to the city.
So, see you, Johan. Look after yourself.
He nods. He says, gives my regards to the wife.
Indeed. We won't tell her what you said.
He nods. He says she has a habit of knowing anyway. And he waves you goodbye. You leave the keep and the guard shuts the gate behind you. And you head to... Well, you're not entirely sure where the Salty Maid is, are you?
No.
It's a big city. You could ask someone.
Is anyone
Johan,
around?
before we go, where's the Salty Maid?
He says, Port. Can't miss
Okay.
it. It's the there's a few taverns there. It's the one with the there's a busty woman on the front, covered in salt. That's the symbol, the Salty Maid.
Okay.
That's handy. We need to go to the port anyway.
Let's head to the ports.
He nods. It's a short walk to the port. The sea's not far away. Progressively, the dirt and stone road becomes boards as you enter the boardwalk, and you see some large wooden buildings on the left that look like warehouses, and you see people loading things into them. You see a series of boats on the dock, larger than last, and it looks like the port's relatively full. You see plenty of armed people, and a particularly large boat with the symbol of a horse and a club.
Horse and a club.
And it looks like a big hulking wreck that for some reason is still afloat, but it's a very noticeable boat. And you begin to walk down and you see a series of taverns. It doesn't take you long to get to the one with the maiden, and there's a salt shaker over her. And you see that salt's being sprinkled on her, and you see a small shack opposite with a crystal ball painted on the door, shoddily.
Okay. Shall we enter?
Yeah, let's do it.
You enter which one? The crystal ball place or the Salt Maiden?
The crystal ball place.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, let's do that one first.
The door opens, and you get a strong smell of incense. The room is dark, lit only by a couple of candles, and you see a woman, relatively young actually, not the type of person you'd expect in this place, with red hair down to her waist, a fairly pretty lady, and she's just finishing lighting a third candle. And she said, "Gentlemen, I've been..." And she points an orb in the centre of the room, and smoke is swirling above it.
Can I lean over and just have a peer in the orb, see if I can see anything?
It just looks like an orb. You can't really see anything in it. And she laughs, and she said, "That's not quite how it works."
Let's look at her and say, is there anything you can tell us that may stop us from dying?
She looks at you, and she says, "I thought a priest of Nex doesn't worry about death. I thought Nex has it all in hand."
It doesn't mean I want to die anytime soon.
She nods, and she sits down, and she says, "Well, a seer like me has to make ends meet. I'll have 50 gold off each of you, please, gentlemen, for a read on the future."
50 gold.
I just give her the 50 gold. It's fine.
She pops it in her pocket, and she puts her hand out, and she says, "Anyone who doesn't pay needs to leave the room while I get a read on each of you."
Oh, fine. I'll give her 50 gold.
Same.
Cool. So
Damn
she
it.
collects 150 gold off your total. And she begins to put some more incense on. And she says, "Gentlemen, I sense a creature stalking you.
Don't we know?
A great power stalking you. I see things from the abyss coming from a realm where they should be locked away into this material plane. I see wolves. I see bugbears. I hear a name and a symbol of the abyss, and her eyes roll in her head, and in the smoke you see the weird, the symbol that you guys took from the piece of hide from the goblins. You see that symbol flash in the smoke, and she takes a deep breath, and she says, "Gentlemen, your lives are marked, I see."
Okay, marked for death?
She nods. She said that's one potential outcome. And she says, "But first, I want to ask you a question. I have a friend, a lady friend, who may help you on your journeys. But first, I want to know if you're compatible with the lady friend I have in question. What sort of girls do you gentlemen like?"
Oh, that kind of shop.
I thought 50 gold was quite a bit.
Ones that are alive are always good. And again, ones that are dead don't bother me either.
She looks at you, Lee, and she says, "I don't think the lady would be an appropriate match for you." And she looks at Dave and Angelus. She looks at Angelus and Ulf. And she said, "What sort of ladies do you gentlemen like?"
Somebody who can hold her own.
She nods.
Yeah. Has got red hair.
She chuckled and she said, "What about a lady who is obsessed?"
Depends what the obsession is.
"What if the obsession is you?"
Angelus or me?
She looks and she says, "Either. This is a lady I found stranded against a road. Her previous owner tried to get rid of her multiple times. She kept coming back. Eventually he threw her away. And in her madness, she kept returning to him. He took his own life and left her alone. And I acquired her."
Can she carry a heavy weight?
She says she's not that type of lady.
But
Can you handle obsession? And she looks between the both of you.
as long as it's well-meaning obsession, yes.
She takes a small bundle out from underneath her, and she says, "Look, but do not touch." And she unwraps the parcel, and she says, "This is envy. She's a jealous weapon, but incredibly powerful. She would have you wield no other."
It's got to be me, Auntie.
That should be you. So I've got wrath and you've got envy.
Oh, nice. Oh,
she says, "Envy is an incredibly powerful weapon. I wouldn't part with her.
no.
But I see great suffering in your future without the power to be able to save yourselves. However, weapons like this aren't free, and I would part with her for 5,000 gold."
What is envy again? Is it an axe? Is it?
Envy's an axe. Envy looks like a throwing axe.
Oh no.
That you need to go collect every time.
Well, does oh no. Does
The
Envy?
description of Envy is that Envy kept coming back, regardless. However, she doesn't allow you to use any other weapon.
Oh, so if I pick up Envy now, I can't use a bow.
The description is Envy is a jealous weapon. You'd have to discard your other weapons.
Ooh.
However,
Can you get a
Envy
refund at the
is-
blacksmith?
Sorry,
Can you get a refund at the blacksmith? Did you order some
he did.
axes as well?
He ordered some arrows. You'd have the arrows, wouldn't you, Ad?
Oh, I'd have those, yeah.
Mm.
Aren't you a close range character anyway, Dave?
Yeah, but
Well, I say close
Oh, you've
range.
got to
I
have
mean,
it.
you mean you? This is a phone axe that's going to return itself to you every time anyway.
yeah, but I don't want it to be like pissed off at me for using a bow and arrow because I need the bow and arrow.
No, you won't need a bow and arrow because you'll just throw the axe.
Yeah, but
Do we know? All right, let Ad settle this. What's the damage this axe can cause?
You don't know. You'd need it decently appraised.
Can
Do it,
damn.
do it, do
But
it.
if Wrath's a benchmark, quite a bit.
Wait, what? So it's as powerful as Wrath.
It's not as powerful as Wrath, but it's relatively powerful.
I feel that this could be horrendously this could end horrendous.
Oh, this is totally a cursed weapon. Like, it's totally a cursed weapon, but it's also a great weapon. Like, Wrath's a cursed weapon. Ad, you love Wrath, don't you?
I love it.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it.
Bit of berserk every now and again, it's no problem.
The question is, do you have the gold for it as well? How much did you say it was? 5,000?
5,000. Yeah.
No, I don't have that much. But
Can I get my silver clamshell and gold chain out and be like, you take this towards it?
Yeah, you've got some stuff to appraise, haven't you? Oh, wait, didn't you appraise all that?
I've got
No.
some stuff to sell as well.
Go on, what's your appraisable loot? I'll write it all down and then we'll appraise it.
Silver clamshell.
Yeah.
Gold chain. I've got a silver medallion, which is the Jakar symbol, but I presume I want to keep that.
Of course, you got that from the cleric, didn't you?
Yeah,
What other appraisable items do we have?
that's it for me.
Dave? I'll do it one on one.
For me, I've got 8 jade statues, 8 jade statues, 4 silver goblets, 5 copper rings, 1 gold ruby ring,
Sorry, is that 5 copper rings?
5 copper rings, yeah.
How were you walking, Dave?
A mystery bag of goodies.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I've
What's
got a
he got?
vial of hair. Apparently.
Vial of hair?
A vial of hair, apparently.
What?
I don't remember getting that. But
I know what that does. Yep.
Yeah. No, I think that's all I've got really for appraisals.
Don't you have the big leather mask from Faceless?
Oh, yeah, I do have that somewhere, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll praise that as well, but actually,
And didn't you have a snake egg as well?
Yeah, Lee, what do you have to appraise? You have the snake egg.
Yeah, I've got snake egg. I've also got 2 medium and 1 small green gem. I think that's it. That's all I've got.
Cool.
I've also I've got a vanish potion as well. It lasts for 1 round. Saving that for a special moment.
So the 8 H8 statuettes are 120 GP each.
Oh, I've got a silver ring with large onyx stone, like a Pokemon. That's what I've put in. As my reminder.
So the Onyx gem, that's a 50 GP Onyx gem. So that's one of the ingredients that you could use in your Raising of Deadly.
Right.
So 120 times by 8. I'm going to get a calculator for something.
Yeah.
So the HA statuettes are 960 gold in total.
But, sorry, hang on. So how much were the jade statues?
960 gold in total, 120 GP each. The 4 silver goblets are they're 5 gold pieces each.
So
They're 5, 10, 15, 20 gold for the goblets in total. The 5 copper rings are 1 gold each, so that's going to be 5 gold. The vial of hair, do you want to sell the vial of hair, Dave?
absolutely.
That's going to be 75 gold.
75 gold?
You sure you want to sell that hair?
And the leather mask, well, she looks at the leather mask and is incredibly surprised that you have it on you. And she says, this is an interesting item. She said, I'll give you 1,750 gold for it.
1,750 gold for it.
She nods.
If I do sell it to you, why is it interesting?
She said, well, this is a leather mask harvested from the faces of several different humans, enchanted to give you bonuses on. You can make people see their loved ones or someone else in your face, and it will help you. It will help you be. It will help you pass unnoticed.
I've had
And
this
if
all
you-
time.
Shoved
And
in your
if
bag.
you disguise yourself as a person that you're in combat with, then you'll get a better insight to their mind and their psyche and get some insight during battle on the way they fight. So you'll have advantage against them.
You're making it very difficult to sell this item, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it does sound good.
That's.
Maybe sell it afterwards.
I'm just thinking, like, I might use this. I might come back to the shop at some point for MV and to sell everything. What I might do is I'll sell my statues, my goblets, the rings, and the vial of hair, but I'll keep the mask for now.
Okay, cool. Give me a second. I'll just do some math. 960 plus.
How much was the silver clamshell and the gold chain?
I'll
Because you're
I'll do the
add
master
that
if that's all right. Add plus 5 equals 985 plus 75. You get 1,060 gold from that transaction, Dave, and you lose your vial, you use your copper rings, you lose your silver goblets, and your 8 jade statuettes.
1,060 gold, yes, please.
Yeah. So the silver clamshell is 150 gold, Ad.
Yeah.
The gold chain is 20 gold.
Cool.
And the silver medallion with the Jakar symbol, she doesn't want. She doesn't want to touch it. She thinks the symbol's cursed.
Okay.
She withdraws from it and she says, I won't touch that. So yeah, you can have 170 gold if you sell those things, Ed.
Yeah, I'll sell them. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So does that help you to buy that axe, Dave?
How much you got there, mate? Sorry?
170 gold.
170.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still a bit of a way off, to be honest with you.
How far though?
How much is platinum again? Is that 10 per piece?
10
Yeah,
piece.
10 gold a piece.
So if I remember right, because I've got 68 platinum pieces. So you probably got something around the same.
Lee, do you want your other stuff?
I'll figure that out in
appraising?
a second. I'll give me a minute.
So who can she do my snake egg?
Yeah, cool. 400 GP she wants for it.
I thought it was more than that. 400 GP. Just trying to think, is it worth keeping my silver wing for a large onyx? Probably is. The medium, what about the 2 medium and the 1 small green gems that I've got?
The mediums are 132, the smalls 87.
Right, okay. Can I sell those 3 items then? The 2 medium and the small gems?
Cool. 132 times 2 equals plus 87. That's 351 gold in total, Lee.
51, right, okay.
I'm pretty sure the Amphibisma egg is...
I'll sell her my snake egg as well. I'll get that off. Although I'm sure that's worth thousands. I wonder if could I not get more for that if I sold it somewhere else?
just having a look. Can someone do an appraisal on it?
Snake egg. What's my appraisal? Has anyone got a decent appraisal?
I think is it Dave with a good appraisal?
Nope, that's the market price for them. Between 300 to 500 GP on the market.
Right, let's sell that quick.
She's not ripping you off.
Right, so I'll sell that.
Yeah, so add an extra. So
400.
you had 350 something, didn't you? 351. So add 400 to that.
Yeah, don't
And
worry.
you get 751 gold total. She looks at the. You've got a necklace around your neck, Lee, with a hand on it, a withered, small hand. And she says, bit morbid that.
I just smile and ask her, does she not like kids? So, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with death?
There's easier ways to fetch things.
She think, I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost. What do you mean?
She says we've done a lot of trade, so I'll tell you. That hand that you have, if you clutch it and imagine a object weighing roughly no more weight than a book, coming towards you, it'll fetch it for you, it'll bring it to you. She says try it, and she puts a book on the table.
Grab the hand. Imagine the book.
You imagine the book in your hand, did you say?
I imagine the book coming towards me.
Yeah. The fingers on the hand begin to twitch, and the book begins to come towards you at a nice slow rate, and ends up in your hand.
All I'm thinking is, why did I not know this before?
You've had it since the Goblin's Cave, Lee.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, I write that on my sheet so I do not forget.
Grants telekinetic powers.
Small creepy hand round the neck. No more than a book weight.
Roughly. There are some actual stats, but she's not telling you them. She's saying roughly the size of a book, so you could just try it on things.
All
And
the
we'll get a
round
gauge.
of the size of a book. Okay.
Size, weight, shape.
What about
No.
distance? Like, could it bring someone's head if I imagined the head?
Do you want to test it in the room?
That sounds like a bad idea. I don't want to rip off Vangelis's head. I'll try that out in the field.
Okay.
So, Angelis has got a rubber mask. I have to be very careful what I was saying then. That's
Stitched together of people's faces.
and how long has he had that for?
Oh, he's had that since he killed Faceless. So, like a season?
Yeah, that season. Yeah.
Half a season, really?
Down the docks did that happen? I think it was, wasn't it? Bloody slaughter.
Yeah, I mean, you've had the mage hand for much longer, Lee. Much longer.
Just,
That's like episode 2 of season.
just don't know. Just
And
no
I've waited
idea.
all this time thinking, why does no one ever look at magic items? Like, I give them magic items, and they're like, why don't we have any magic items? And they just don't bother checking. Just don't bother checking. They're good magic items as well.
I'm going to go and see the Gunter and just get him to check everything on us.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. But,
So, Dave, gold-wise, how are we doing?
How much are platinum coins?
the
10 gold.
10.
Even the coins are.
Platinum coin is 10 gold.
So I've got 2 coins, but I've also got just like platinum. I've just got platinum.
Yeah, that's it. Platinum
They're
gold.
all the same.
Oh,
Yeah,
so that's an extra 20 on top then. Okay.
So okay, I mean, how much do you need? Because I have gold. I still owe you
It does. Yeah.
some money from bringing me back to life in a previous season.
You're damn right.
So, what do you need?
I mean, currently I'll need. Hang on. You know, maths is not my strong point.
What for?
Eh? Four goals. So I'm going to need about 625, I think. But
Okay.
I don't know if I want to buy it yet, because if I do, that's literally cleaning me out of all of my money, apart from the silver and stuff I've got. I suppose I could always then sell the mask afterwards, and that'll boost me up another nearly $2,000.
Right, well, I can give you 680.
And I can give you 170.
So I'll give you 680.
Oh, is there a chance of us coming back to this shop after we've been out somewhere else? Because I'm hoping we can find some more gold somewhere.
Yeah, but I can give you
To
what
you?
you need
Well,
now.
we're potentially not getting out of here for 5 days, are we? Or
Yeah, I won't buy it now, but can I say to the lady, can you keep it on hold for me, just in case I do?
She says she won't wait for long, and she bundles it up and she puts it under the table.
And can I ask her then, have I only got to use that? Because I can't use anything else.
She says it's a blessing as much as it's a curse. Like I say, the only way you'll get rid of her is the ending of your own life.
Well, shit. I'll leave it for now. I'll think on that one.
I feel like we're missing an opportunity here.
yeah, same.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, the moment I pick up a rock to use that as something else, this axe is just gonna come out of nowhere and stick out my head. Or it's gonna be a case of if I throw the axe and it gets stuck in someone, I pick up another axe to throw to animate that person I've killed and use them to kill me.
Well, no, because Axe is always going to come back to you.
I mean, is it gonna come back to me like Leviathan, like like Thor's hammer and stuff?
I mean, that's the picture I have in my mind.
I mean, if it's then that's not terrible.
The owner couldn't get rid of it. He threw it away, and it always wound up on him.
It's just going to. I think it's going to be like you throw it, and then it's going to be back on your side. I've got 680 gold pieces waiting for you right here.
But then I'm gonna have to lose my fancy elvish bow, all of the arrows I have. I've got
You won't need them. You can keep them on you and give them to Ubik. Ubik's at long range anyway. You're
I'll
gonna be
take them.
Axe. You love an axe. Come on, think about all the heads you could take.
Well, you've
off
got
of
this
it.
bow and stuff, but this axe could be far superior to any of them.
I
bullied into this.
I bet you can take the head
Take
off.
the curse, Dave. Take the curse.
Come
Do
on.
it, do
Take
it.
the curse, I can kill you, Dave. Do it.
680. I'm wiping it off my sheet right now. You taking it?
No.
Come on.
I got the feeling we're going to need bows and stuff. We're currently in the
We've
middle
got
of
ad for that.
I've got a bow.
We've got ad for bows. You're going to be our axe thrower. Come on.
What?
What about? I'll tell you what. Let me bring up the chat. Anyone in chat? If anyone is currently in chat and
My
willing
God.
to write a message, who thinks Angelus here should take the axe? This is where I pray. I pray for anyone just to go, yep.
That's where we find out that no one's watching, isn't it?
This is where I find out people have just tuned in, but or mute or
You have to bring Barry up.
Yeah. Come on, just put just me. Anyone, come on, just
Stop typing that.
Sorry, what?
I mean, when I say anyone, Robin.
You dick. No.
Come on, Dave. You can do it. I've got the gold right here. We've gone past 10 o'clock, which you know is our cut-off normally. So let's come on. We can finish this episode with you taking hold of a mighty axe.
No peer pressure, Dave.
So much.
This is no peer pressure. This is just a discussion.
This is just a discussion. A heavily weighted discussion.
You know, think of all the heads it could take off.
What does the axe? I mean, how do I bond with this axe?
Oh, don't worry, I'll bond with you.
She didn't want you to touch the axe until you bought it. She didn't want anyone to touch the axe.
Can I grab Angelus's hand and try and force it onto the axe?
She's packed it away now.
Oh.
That's how. It's a good job I don't have the amount of money, because what I would do is wait for you to I'd buy it, keep it wrapped up. When you go to sleep, I'd just put it in your hand.
Sneak in his fingers.
That's a hell of a way of battling that axe.
I mean, Giles, don't you have a mysterious hand thing that can move objects and stuff?
We're not stealing this act. No, we're not. We're not even going to attempt it. She'll see it anyway. She'll see it.
Nah, she won't do it.
Just get that purse out, Dave.
Come on.
I've got to buy a cursed item. I don't want to buy. So, no, this is how my character dies. This is how it dies. This is how it does. No, I'm not gonna. No, I've got
Come on.
Man. No, can I come back and get it? I want to come back and get it.
By that time, you'll be dead. You'll need this. The thing is, you're going to come up against for that. You're going to need this axe, and you're going to die because you don't have it. That's my concern. That is my main concern. That I feel like the dungeon master here is saying, "Here's an enchanted item that will save your life," and you're going, "I'll leave that here for now, and I'll come back for it later."
Just thinking about me with wrath, you with envy at the front, there, Lee at the back somewhere, healing us.
Oh, I'm gonna hate this so much.
And you lane waste.
Go on then.
Yes! Right, you can have a. I'm wiping my platinum pieces, 680 to you. Done. Just like a wire transfer.
Western Union, yeah.
Do you put the gold on got the gold, the silver, and the platinum on the table, Dave?
Yes, I. Oh God! Let me just put my current number down to 0.
It's all good.
No. I have no money. I'm literally skinned. I want to buy some health potions.
She takes the bag of gold from you and places it underneath the desk. She brings up the axe wrapped and opens it. You see that the axe has a gold handle, and its blade is oddly green, with shades of brown and red in it. And as you look at it, and what do you do? It's just sitting there on the table.
Can I imagine with my hand that the axe is moving towards Angelus's fingers?
You can, but it does nothing.
Okay.
Oh.
I know for the purpose of this, I'm gonna have to do. Oh, I'm gonna pick it up.
As you place your hand on the axe, you immediately feel it force itself into the back of your palm. And as much as you're holding the axe, you feel the axe is almost grasping you. You hear a woman's voice whisper in your ear, and it softly says, "Mine."
Yes.
And on that note,
You're my wife.
Well, another thing. What weapons do you have on you, Dave?
Oh no. I've got a lot on me. I've got a fancy elvish bow.
The bowstring snaps.
Oh my god, seriously, no.
Yeah. Seriously, the bowstring snaps.
50 arrows, 50 crossbow
The arrows
bolt.
are fine on their own. She's not jealous of the arrows. It's now blunt, and the shaft breaks on the axe, the handle.
And the throwing axes.
Same thing happens to all your other throwing axes.
Not pleased about this in the slightest.
Anything that you could possibly use as a weapon, any daggers, forks, knives, they all blunt and snap, bend, break, twist. Just the string snapped on the bow. It's not actually damaged the rest of the bow, but it's a cheap fix. But all your other weapons, like screech in pain as you just feel them break on your person.
Oh god, okay. Cool.
I suppose you're feeling a little bit lighter now.
Feeling robbed. I'm gonna store all these items that I, can't use anymore in my bag of holding.
Yep.
And then and then can I sheath this weapon at least? Or have I got to walk around with this permanently in my hand now?
I mean, you've got like the belts to put your throwing axes on. You can always try and put it in one of them, but it's not got a sheath on itself.
I'll just put it on me hip then.
Cool. You feel it sit ever so slightly too snugly on your hip as it nestles against you.
I'm like, Angelus,
okay.
try throwing it.
Do you know what? Yeah. Let's see what happens. I say to the lady here, excuse me for a moment, and I find a piece of wall that's got nothing on it. If it's wooden, is the wall wooden?
Yes, the wall's wooden.
I'm going to throw the axe at the wall.
Just at a wall, just damaging a wall. Yeah, fine. Yeah, you throw the axe and it bites really deep into the wall, glistening a lot further than you're pretty used to throwing axes, a lot further and a lot more accurately than you've ever thrown an axe before, and it immediately appears in the palm of your hand within 6 seconds.
Awesome.
Right, just the right amount of time for a round.
You hear the word whisper in your ear again after you've thrown it. Mine.
Oh, perfect.
This is going to end so badly.
Right. As always, thank you, Dungeon Master, for the
Yes,
session.
thank you very much, Dungeon Master, for doing that.
I can't wait to see what happens next week. Is it next week? Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, next week.
1 week off, 2 weeks on.
Yeah, so next Sunday at 8 p.m. Angelus. We'll be back for what is it? Episode 5?
Yeah,
So,
the episode 5. We've just
yeah.
had episode 4.
Yep, episode 5. So yeah, thanks for watching.
See you next week.
See you next week.